Oh God. Okay. I'm not going to stay out too long, but I guess we just want to enjoy the good weather, right? Which is the point. Because the good weather is not too common in our sections over here. Hold on. Oh gosh. Just. Ooh, this could cause a problem. I have to move this down a little bit. No, I think I'm going to leave it. Okay. So we're going to. Can that work? Will that hold? Oh my God, will that hold? That's like my biggest concern is the wind can blow this, and then we're in trouble. Doomsday, right there. Okay. So I know my channel has been acting like a bit of a disastrous experience. I'm not out here too frequently because, yeah, I'm not out here too frequently because technology and outdoors and heat. Luckily today is not a terribly hot day. And I wear this. If you don't know me, my name is Cinta. I wear this because I have a permanent injury. I guess I would consider myself disabled at this stage. My life has changed through the process of just an accident, I think. Almost like a biker's accident. Actually, it's as bad as a biker's accident. I ended up with a rod in my leg, so now it's like permanent, right? And yeah, I'm not out to fancy it up or anything, but I thought it was important to be out today. I don't know if I can move this back a little bit. And I'm on a journey to try to lose the weight that I gained because of this whole operation stuff. Hasn't been easy. Welcome in. It hasn't been easy losing the weight that I have. I'm outside today because I'm usually indoors, and I thought this was a good day. It's not too hot. I'm in an area that gets extremely humid. So the humidity is like a big problem with technologies I mentioned on posts. I'm not here to show off or anything. I am literally here to just enjoy the weather. I don't have anything in particular in mind. I think I'm just contemplating on what I should actually do. Big changes through the platform, right? Big changes through the platform, and I don't know exactly what they're looking for, but I know everybody focuses on morality, and I've already been there, and I was not personally the type of person that needed to deal with as much drama as some people want to. I can't because my injury has created stress. I don't know if you've had a broken bone with rod, but I have a piece of metal from here to here. I have scars and everything. I'm not going to that one. I have scars from here all the way up to here, where they've implanted a piece of metal in my leg. So because of the implants, it has now caused me to have to slow down my lifestyle. I have to pace myself when I exercise. I'm certainly not the way I used to be, as I remember. So it has become there are pins on my ankle. So right here, right over here, and then on this side, there are like two pins, and then there's another one on the other side where when I move my leg or my foot, it's very uncomfortable, and when it's overwalked, it heats up and it expands, which causes another problem. So I've had to recover through this whole change in my system. It's just different now. So I guess maybe talking about my experience, I'm back in the gym. I've already gotten my own equipment from home, so I've been training from home as well. But from the 3 hours a day that I used to do every single day to 20 minutes a day is like a complete change in my system. It's just not the way it used to be. So I don't, my exercise routine is very rigorous. And when I lived in Japan, I was extremely fit. So obviously we don't have cars, we didn't have cars, we had public transport, right? So we have to walk everywhere, travel by train, lots of cycling. So it's a different lifestyle. Living in the States, I find that I've been driving a lot more. In South Africa, I was cycling a lot more. I was exercising and cycling a lot more. And since this exercise, I have not been able to cycle because I just can't get back up on a bicycle. I just can't. I want to. I'm going to do my like 5 hours a day exercise cycle, but I can't do the way I used to. So now I'm living in a situation where I have to kind of accept the fact that this is where, welcome in, where I've positioned myself. The course that I have is to basically hold myself in. I think so I'm through this, I'm a little over having to go through this whole situation, but if you can see from here, I have a rod from here all the way, you can see my pictures if you're interested. So I guess I've had to put myself in the category of disability because it's now become a problem even working around the job. It's a whole different story. So my lifestyle has changed, and I think like this is our complex. This is our complex area. So our complex has like a beautiful like space, but it doesn't mean that I need to walk like distances just to get out of here. I've had to be very methodical as to how to. I'm so scared this thing is going to drop because I have them on my easels. To position myself outside. I'm literally just enjoying being out here. I don't usually sit out here and do like a live, but Brandon gave me one of his Wi-Fi's which I'm using right now for the landscape, which I would never usually take because the landscape is to get outside due to the Wi-Fi. So that's a little bit harder to do this unless you have like all the stuff here outside to record it live. But hey, why not? It's a good day. I did my exercise yesterday. I did my core training inside today. I don't have everything out here. I literally have like a whole setup here. 2 easels. The easels actually, I never tried that before. But if you're an artist and you're wanting to try to find a way to hold this up instead of having a tripod, I guess easels work for the live, which is interesting. So they're positioned on my easels right now. Thank goodness I have 2, so that kind of saves my time from having to set up. But I don't have lighting, this is just natural light. In my space I have like different lighting and the background is white and all that stuff. So it's just a relaxing day. If you have any questions, if you want to know how it feels to become disabled, just ask. I suppose that's where I stand right now. I am literally a disaster. I'm a walking disaster. I can walk, I cannot run, I cannot cycle, I cannot do my 3 hours of training like I used to on a based situation. I love training. I love training because that's how I grew up training. I used to be like big into swimming, horse riding, cycling. In fact, I preferred not to have a car in from 17 to the age of 17 to 42, I didn't have a car. I chose not to get a car because the car was like not exercise equipment. So I was all about making sure that I had all the stuff that I needed to get around without walking, cycling, different parts of the world. You don't always have a car in different parts of the world. The States I guess I need. South Africa, you probably do need a car, but I cycled, so it was okay. I was around a lot of people who cycle back then. But yeah, it has become a bit of a conundrum with my capabilities and how I go about doing things. And I'm not here to, like, I'm not 20 years old. I'm 15 years old. I'm a 46-year-old woman that will be 47 in 37 in November. So I'm not a young person. I've already lived my life. I've broken my leg. Now I'm like basically disabled. So it's become a bit of a mission now to kind of live life through this process. It's very rough. It's very rough. So your exercise goes right out the window if you become disabled after a stroke. I didn't have the disability before. It's like a sports injury. Once you have a sports injury, the sports injury can detrimentally cause and change your lifestyle to change. Like you can't go back into the sports that you used to. Basically, for me, I can't go back into the jobs that I used to because it does not allow me to maneuver and move in a certain way. But I'm definitely outside. I thought it was a good day. Not too many people today, which is good. I would usually have Dior outside with me. We're not allowed to bring him out here anymore. So it's really disheartening that our complex doesn't allow that. We did at some points. We were allowed to at one point. The weather's gotten a little bit better. And yeah, so I'm just enjoying this weather. Just enjoying this weather. Get a little bit of footage and just talking a little bit about how it feels to have my lifestyle changed topsy-turvy. Even 5 years ago was my birthday. And I'm thinking, oh no, I'm just going to get a cast. No, I didn't just get a cast. They had an emergency operation. I broke my fibula and tibia, which is the walking loose. The two bones are so important for walking. And they're thin. So if they break, they're right here at the bottom of the foot. Tibia and fibula. Once they break, and they sort of healed, but now they heal. Surgery is not going to take long. So I'm lodged permanently in my leg. And see, I have to constantly move around because if I don't move, my whole system kind of responds. Just like I have to stand sometimes. I don't stand, my body just reacts. Right? So yeah. This has become a bit of a mission now. And I'm short. I'm a short person. I'm like 5'1" and a bit. So for me, 5'1", that's very short. So even a little bit of weight that goes onto my system, you can see the difference. And so it just expands onto it. So more people, yeah, I'm short. But this is the first time I think I'm actually displaying my entire body. So this is good. But yeah, I do have ankle from my knee all the way down to my ankle. I have from somebody that was constantly exercised to size 0 all the way up to, I think I'm losing a little bit now. It's just taking a little bit of time. Protein shakes are helping, but not I was doing the powdered shakes at one point, but the powdered shakes were so bad. I only found out that they had some lead in there, I guess. And the lead. Yeah, so I shifted that. I changed to fruit protein shake. So I use milk, which is good for your bones, like natural. And yeah, fruit. So far, I think it's working. So it's lowering my intake and whatever it is I'm digesting. Yeah, so I'm just standing because I was sitting for a few moments, but I do find that this is like it's slow that down, moving my ankle a little bit. So yeah, it's a big difference. But I think being outside today is a good time. It's just enjoy the weather. I'm not going to be out here for too long. Maybe I go back upstairs to hear me. So I have 2 mics. One of them is alive on landscape, and the other live is. And I haven't. I'm just talking. I'm just doing a random talk. I'm not doing anything fancy. I know that you could probably play games on here, but I'm not a gaming person. I think gaming the system is also a Gen Xers. Everybody complains about Gen Xers. We've lived longer than most people. Complaining about life. It's like, yeah, you guys complain because you get engagement and interactions. And this plurality is all about being as loud and obtrusive to anybody's situation as, yeah, I don't agree that plurality has to be so abrupt. I think being viral, becoming viral, can also be not so volatile. I think the volatility, being volatile on platforms, I don't think, for me, it doesn't help. It doesn't help because so we have to be like, yeah. So, the viral thing. So I think I'd spoken about this before. Like, gone viral. I had like 45, 50,000 views on Flip. And I saw the process. It was like all about engagement. People were constantly engaging and interacting with the discussion and constantly responding after another person's response. And then it just got like really crazy because there was jealousy and people left weird, nasty comments. And I finally said, you know what? That was interesting to experience. It kept on, the views kept on going. And it was great for a few moments. I got about $700 out of it. But I really, in the end, I was like, well, what's the whole point of going viral if there has to be such a approach to liberality? I mean, you're hearing all these stories about everybody who has gone viral and become very successful, but then all the trigger things happen and problems happen at the end of their life. What is that? Jules. She had that really viral moment and everybody started using her phrase. And it was great. But yeah, you don't always know the story behind the person's background. So it becomes a very interesting phenomenon. See, I can't sit completely on the chair. It gets uncomfortable. So I have to move. But I think it's important to realize that being viral is not, like, it's great if you're trying to be famous in a different way. I know that people who have been successful viral connections or like different, just a different type of thing. And then through those connections, you become successful. So it was like a different, I think my generation was a little bit different. So I think it's important. I'm putting glasses on because and I don't have lights. This is natural lighting, okay? Lighting changes into different environments, and usually in film departments or people who are doing like the news would have umbrellas. I don't know if you know that. So you would have an umbrella if you were in like the film world. You'd have an umbrella to reflect unnatural light with the natural light from the outside. My partner worked for the news, so I've already seen, and I know how it is because that's what I study as well as photography. But I don't have an expensive fancy dance setup. This is a setup which is absolutely natural. So you're going to see the shadows on the face. There's no particular contrast. Some of it might look flat. It's just how it is. So if you don't know how, I think that's why a lot of people stay inside for the lighting purposes. But today I just thought, no, it's a great day to just enjoy this weather. I don't usually come out here too often. Let me just stand up for a little. So yeah, it's just do have to get my words out. So this has become a bit of a problem. And not everybody's disability will be visible on the external because there's new technology now. Unless they have new technology, they were able to place the piece inside my system, inside my body. So it's not visible, but I could definitely feel it. It's definitely 100% there. It goes from my ankle, that's like half my body, part of my ankle, part of my knee, all the way down to my ankle. So I can no longer bend. Lift the leg, I'm not going to pull it out, but I have a huge scar on my ankle, on my knee, and then this part over here. And I cannot kneel anymore because I think they had to move my kneecap to place this thing in, and it's just not stable. The stability is just not there. So it's definitely there. I can feel it. So I have to do my posture a little bit. I decide to come out because I thought it was a decent day to be outside. Test out how I can use my tripods, which absolutely not tripods, my easels, which absolutely not. These are easels. I have my phone vertical, my landscape on my iPad, and I've placed them on easels. So hopefully the sound comes out reasonably well. Visual. So I don't know if I can do this regularly, and I don't know if I can bring my equipment out because that's more stuff that I cannot carry in my state. So the lighter the situation, the better it is for me. And I don't have to set it up. I can have to do a normal 8 hours straight. I can only do it for like 30 minutes to an hour. And do something else. That's how it works for me right now. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm on the landscape, so you can see 2 different examples of how you can actually do this. So outdoors, if you're a professional, you generally have like an umbrella, like a light umbrella, where they actually set it up for outdoor purposes when you're filming a professional format. In my case, this is casual, so I'm not doing anything fancy. I do not have expensive equipment. That is not like my format is not a professional, expensive format. It's just one person putting this together and making it happen. That's all it is. So I'm not planning on doing anything crazy outside. But I thought it was just a nice day to take some pictures. You guys can see what my body looks like. I'm short. Hopefully I can lose this weight. I'm busy on my weight loss in a different format, not for vanity metrics, but more for my own personal health. Because if I don't get back into like reasonable size, it actually puts pressure on my ankle and my knee, and then I have no problem. So I have to be very careful how I kind of maneuver my health now that I'm, I suppose I can say. So I've accepted my situation. Not happily. I've had to accept it for 5 years now, so I don't think I'll ever be back to the way I used to be. That's just how it has to be. Okay, folks, thank you again. Welcome in. I'm just standing. I was sitting just now, but I'm standing because I think maybe most people haven't seen my entire body. I have a disability. I was not born with a disability. I fell and I broke it was a horrible accident. out the live. Obviously the live does